Okay, I have this photo I took of my daughter in my backyard yesterday on a straight out of the wrapper tablecloth that I got off Amazon. It was cheap and would get here fast. And I saw a few of her fellow dance friends do a fun paint photo shoot, and I just ordered a backdrop or slash tablecloth right away. And it came yesterday, pulled it out, wanted to do the photo, waited for good lights because I don't use a flash, I don't use umbrellas or any kind of um, aids to help block the sun or shine lights on her. I just use my Nikon 7200 and fix in Photoshop. And I'm sure that there are people that are going to have their own opinions about that. That's fine. I am here to show you how you can take a photo like this with a very wrinkly backdrop um, and fix it and make it pop. And I'm going to show it in pretty simple steps. Backstory, I had come in to the photos last night, tried spot healing the wrinkles out using my smoothing tool, which is an action. You'll see that over here. I thought about making a few layers of the backdrop and taking it all the way black and then painting back in the paint or unmasking the paint, whatever the lingo is. I thought about three different ways, and then I came to a really simple step using my camera raw filter and the Dodge tool, and it actually made it super easy to edit these, probably under 5 minutes, and actually turned it into a fun editing job as opposed to something that I was kind of looking at thinking maybe I won't edit these because that backdrop is so wrinkly and just looks, you know, too much, too hard. So let me show you what I did. So first things first, I'm going to crop by pressing C on my Mac just to get rid of some of this grass down here and get rid of some of that sand, and then make her centered a little, more because I like that. Um, so there's that. There's still going to be a little bit of sand, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. You can heal that, spot heal that by going here with this little brush, and it'll just take out some of that dirtiness, which is fine too. That's a pretty simple thing. Might not see it once I do the edit, but I'll just show you for a second what it can do. Take out some of this ugly paint here. Okay, so now I'm going to go up to image adjustments curves and play around to bring those colors out a little bit more. So I'm going to, darken that and bring up the contrast a little so it really pops, get that really vibrant color because that's what I'm going for. And then once you get it where you like, whatever your vision is, you press OK. Then you're going to press Command J on your keyboard if you're in the Mac. And you'll have to tailor this to a PC. If you're doing it on a Dell, I'm just doing it on a Mac. So I created a second layer. And now I'm going to go up to my quick selection tool right here. And the new Photoshop, which is new to me because I just updated. It's been a few years that I've been using the old Photoshop CC, but I just updated to 2020. So it's a learning curve. They got rid of some tools or changed the way some tools work. So I don't remember the old one having select subject. You used to have to drag it along and do it yourself. So hit select subject because it really does a good job on the pictures I've been dealing with of finding what I want those little marching ants to appear around. Now, of course, we've got some spots that don't need to be selected. So, and there's spots probably that do need to be selected. Like I want to pull in a little bit more of her hair there, which is where the refine mask tool used to come into play. But like I said, that changed a little, and I haven't quite figured out how to work with the new upgrade. It also missed her body here a little, so I'm just going to pull that in, go down, make sure everything is selected. Now look, it's got this whole part here, so to unselect something and also here, you're going to hit Option slash Alt on your keypad, and now it has a minus sign in the symbol, and I'm just going to click, and it's going to unselect the stuff I don't want selected, of course, it just took her leg away. So I'm going to let go of that button and bring the leg back. Like I said, this tool's not perfect, but, you know, it's really easy to work with. And it's pretty much just got to get it the way you're happy with it. And it, you know, so I'm just going to do that. Make sure her leg is in there. Because what I'm going to do is darken everything else. So I really need to make sure that it's got what I want selected, and then what I don't want, make sure that's not selected. Okay, so I think we've got my subject pretty much outlined. A little bit of hair over here, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do, you'll be able to fix all those extra nuances with the dodge tool, and I'll show you that later. Okay, so now I have her selected. Make sure there's no parts of her body missing. Still a little wonky right there. Okay, and then I am going to go up. Hold on, there's still a part right there. Okay, perfect. All right, then you're going to go up to select inverse, and it's going to flop what is now outlined. So now the background is outlined. Then I'm just going to go up to camera raw, which is one of my favorite quick and easy editing tools. And once it populates this, okay, so I can see her. Now, don't be alarmed if she starts looking darker or whatever, just because that's what camera raw does. It just pulls up the whole image, pretty much. So I'm going to take my black down to see how the wrinkles are going. I'm going to also take my shadows down and pretty much put it where I want it, where it doesn't look too, you know, cheesy, but it takes a lot of those wrinkles out. And then I'm going to press OK. And then you'll see that, so she hasn't darkened, but everything around her has. And then you're going to press Command D to unselect everything. And now, while you're still in the layer, go over to your burn tool and make sure it's selected on shadows, because that's the only thing we want to work with. And make sure your circle, your mouse is, your tool is big enough. Exposure 100, because why do we need to go over this more than once? So we're just going to go over the back shadows that are still kind of light. Go around her hair, because it'll get rid of all those light spots around. See, like right here, it's just going to, see? And it really brings her hair out and decreases the or increases the shadow, gets rid of all that wrinkly stuff. So just gonna do that real quick. Do the background down here as well, and it gets rid of some of that sand I was worried about. That's why I said don't spend too much time on the healing. And then there's that. Make sure, and then you want to make sure in there, so I'm going to make this a little smaller. And then you can also, if you want to darken her Leo, do that, you know, because it is supposed to be black. Go over her hair a little just to bring it back in. And there is pretty much done with the background. And then I'm going to show you the before and after, and you can see that by clicking this little eyeball. So that's the after. This is how it looked. There's our before, and here is after. Now, one last thing I want to do is, she's a little bright on this side, which is fine. Like I said, I was shooting natural light, but I'm just going to go to my burn tool, my midtones, and I'm just going to decrease the exposure a little to like half, about half, and just go over the lighter spots on her and bring them a little darker, especially on her face, because she has such a pale face compared to everything else. Do her foot so it all looks more uniform. Do her arm because it's a little bright. Her shoulder, you know, and just do wherever you think that you want to even out the skin. This is good for even like doing tan lines. And I think we're good. And so that's a pretty rough edit, a pretty quick and simple edit. And once you're done with making those changes, you just go over here and flatten your image. And so I hope that helps anybody who was in a pickle like I was, where you had a very wrinkly background and almost just threw the picture away and said, hey, I'll just try again another time. So I hope this comes into handy for somebody who is looking for a tutorial on the best and fastest way to edit a wrinkly background like this. I don't think it'll work on other colors or, um, backgrounds that are not like this, that you can't take black like that. But it works for this one. And so hopefully it can come in handy for somebody else. Bye.